ballad. Where do you think you're going? Sit down, let's finish this fucking thing off here. Yeah.
What I liked about Aerosmith personally was the diversity. A song called Janie's Got a Gun is gonna be, it's so good. Well, I think we're gonna do, You Might Be Loving an Elevator. Yeah, that's the name of the song. No, I said it might be Loving an Elevator. Yeah. Loving an elevator! Yeah, it's a good thing. But that's what this is.
It's a traditional funk.
Yeah, sort of in a traditional kind of traditional way.
Traditionally speaking.
Yeah. Look, in the 70s we would tour for like a year solid. We would do 2 or 3 shows, day off, 2 shows, day off, 3 shows, day off. We do that for a year and a half, and when you got cocaine to sniff and booze and pussy to fuck and all that shit, it's like it makes it real easy.
It's that rhythmic quality of it,
Yeah.
But it gives it a real flavor. You have lots of those A's and E's and rolls.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's nuts, but I did drugs for like 25 years, so I had a problem stopping because I was just so fucking used to it. It's like living in the water all your life and coming out and living on land and saying, oh, I'm fine, I can function fine. Every other minute, you're thinking about going back into the water. So, I mean, it's fucking crazy, but, I was really fortunate enough to see that it was stifling my creativity, and that's what I was in a band for, was because I saw the Stones and I saw the Yardbirds, and I said, fuck, not only do I love that, or what they're doing, but I want to do it too, and I want to do it better. I think I can do it better.
Basically, we were all ensconced in this little studio, this tiny studio in Cohasset, Massachusetts, which is kind of just an out-of-the-way little town. And it was sort of isolated for us, which is a good way to work, really, when you really have to get a lot of this, busy work done of, arrangements, which is a lot of, kind of the ditch digging of an album, putting those arrangements together and rehearsing them. Everybody would slog in the morning, kick the snow off their shoes, and every couple of weeks Bruce would show up, and he'd come in not showing a trace of jet lag, even though he'd flown in all the way from Vancouver. And we'd get right to work seeing where the band was at with the songs he had asked us to concentrate on.
I'll tell you a little story, make you wanna jump and shout. Well, talk to me in circles, take a dig out of your mouth. It's hard enough to make it when you're living in the streets and you want to say somebody, but you got to be discreet. But then you get shot up and with a straight hat up the hill. Don't get mad, get even.
I can picture us there in Cohasset, and Steven's over behind his keyboard, kind of sitting up in his royal chair there. And everybody's, every time we come to rehearsal, everybody pretty much winds up in the same position, and Steven is kind of the master of ceremonies. A lot of times he'll either be playing his keyboard or he'll just be listening while the rest of us are playing. And it's kind of a lucky thing because when you're in a situation and you're the only person in the room who's not sitting there concentrating on exactly what he's playing, your mind is sometimes a little more free to just start throwing ideas around, and Steven is definitely good at that.
Let's just take it from here. Don't get mad, get even.
Joe you know, he's kind of off by himself, and he's smoldering away on his guitar, but every once in a while, you know, a bolt of lightning jumps out. And it's very obvious when it happens. And when that happens, you know, everything will stop, and we'll take that and start, you know, working on it, seeing where that, you know, can go to bring the song up another level. And then, you know, I'm over there, you know, completely absorbed in trying to make the rhythmic aspect of the song happen with Joey. You know, it's kind of a weird thing, because as you practice, you're changing the arrangement constantly. And not only are you changing it, but the next time you play it, you've got to remember those changes you made. But at the same time, your mind, you know, is trying to say, how can I take this raw thing that I'm working on, this raw bass part, and make it more interesting?
Even. Yeah, so we get the title coming back, and you could do those stats, you know? Just play it into that. Let's hear it.
He's a town planner, Bruce Fairburn. He's the one that says, no, move that bridge. It's no good there. We should put a tunnel there, move the bridge, and that way we can get to point A to point B. He's a town planner, so when I walk in with all my scatterbrain stuff and Brad's got a song, you know, he puts it in his place. He goes, no, go to there, go to here, go to there, and I go, no, Bruce, fuck you. He says, well, why do you feel that way? And we talk it out. It's just another wall to bounce off of, you know?
Chorus could just pay off and come in like gangbusters. Now it floats, and then just when you start to get a hold of it, it floats away on and it's gone. And it's okay to do that the first time the chorus comes up, because you know, you're teasing a little bit, you know, and you want it. You want next time it comes up, you think, yeah, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes.
What he does is he's very objective about the songs, and he isn't as emotionally attached to them as we are. So it's a lot easier for him to kind of come in and cut and maim and, you know, say this doesn't work, this is terrible, or this is great, or, you know, and. You know, by the end of the album, I usually hate him, you know, because he's so, you know, he's a taskmaster. But, you know, after a few months, I start looking forward to talking with him again.
That's right, 2 or 3 tracks in a day. I mean, it takes you guys fucking nothing to do guitar parts. I mean, that's great. Steve's real quick on vocals. I'd rather use the time up front here to see if another hit hits the table, or, you know, another gem comes in writing, you know?
Bruce Fairburn very much is listening for those musical elements that stand out immediately, strong statements. I mean, the generic industry term is hooks. You know, when somebody came to me once and said, you've got a lot of hooks in your music, I knew what they meant, but I was surprised, because I just thought, you know, a hook, that's a cool riff, you know, or that's a really, that's just a really cool part. I really like this part here, but somebody else might call it a hook, fine. But if you're going to make a living doing this, I suppose they better be in there.
Then we took it to Vancouver and spent about 3 weeks doing kind of pre-production, you know, like actually rehearsing for, you know, like getting the songs down. So like we're playing them live, and then we did kind of like a demo tape thing when we put 19 songs on 24 track, just to see how they sounded and play them for John Kolodner, and you know, so we could get an idea of where the album was going and if we really needed anything else, you know. If we had all the elements. And then we started recording in earnest. And most of those demo tapes ended up being the bed tracks for the songs.
So consequently, when we were doing the album, when we were finishing up the album, when we went online in Vancouver, we had an A-list and a B-list. Okay, the A-list had The Love in an Elevator, big hit, right? Hey, it's finished, it's happening. What It Takes, big hit. But the stuff like Monkey on My Back, Voodoo Medicine Man, all the B-list stuff was kind of put on the back burner. And I hated that, and I fought for it for months. It worked on a little longer. You yourself said you wouldn't want to spend all day on a song.
No.
So if we don't get a song that just happens to be a little hard, like, you know, hey, whatever. I'm the Walrus by the Beatles took a long time to do.
but also
if it was approached like this, it'd have been put on the back burner. That's all. You can't dismiss that. Is that totally not true? I mean, I'd have passed on 2 of these.
Yeah, in
At
that
the studio,
case,
we'd have never wound up doing Sniffin', never wound up doing Monkey on My Back if I didn't go, Jesus. You know, just that little bit of nuts. I don't want to sway anybody. That's how I feel.
The process of picking out which songs to work on is excruciating, fascinating.
well, in that case, you know, we should go to the York Theater, get an 8-track in there, demo all these songs, finish them.
Why is that? We're doing it here.
Yeah, but it only cost you $50 a day there. Here it's costing you, $1,500.
Well, are you going to let that get in the way of art? Something that might come out and gross you $15 million?
No, obviously not, but I'm just saying, theoretically, all that should have been done before we were here. Like last album, we had all the I think we had all the songs kind of up.
No, it was the same thing. Everybody ran to Steven wasn't ready, but you know, there's a certain amount of magic there, you know? I mean, if you come in here and it's like pick it out of a garbage can, everybody be doing it. It's not that easy. It's the hard stuff, you know?
I just think we should do what we set out to do. Get these songs done.
So what do you want to work on tonight?
It's wicked tense. Are you kidding? It's those are your babies there, and people